Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly forgotten why you went there? Or maybe you misplaced your glasses, only to realize they were on top of your head the whole time. If you're over 60, moments like this can feel worrying. But here's the big question. How do you know what's just normal aging, and what might be a warning sign of something more serious? Today, we're going to explore the truth about memory loss after 60. What's normal, what's not, and most importantly, what you can do about it. Before we dive in, I'd love for you to let me know in the comments where you're watching this from. Share your country, your city. I always enjoy seeing the global community come together here. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss out on new videos packed with health and wellness tips just for seniors. Now, let's get into it. Memory is one of those things we often take for granted until we notice it's slipping a little. But the truth is, the brain changes as we age, and some forgetfulness is completely normal. The key is learning the difference between typical age-related changes and red flags that could signal dementia or Alzheimer's disease. Let's start with what's completely normal. Picture this. You meet someone new at a gathering, and a few minutes later, you can't quite remember their name. Sound familiar? This happens to just about everyone, and especially as we age, retrieving names, dates, or exact words can take longer. This doesn't mean your brain is failing. It just means your brain's processing speed is slowing down a little. Think of it like a computer that's been running for many years. It still works, but it might take a few extra seconds to open a file. That's normal. Another common experience is what experts call tip-of-the-tongue moments. You know the word you want to say, it's right there in your mind, but you just can't quite grab it. Then, an hour later, it suddenly pops into your head. Again, this is totally normal. And in fact, studies show that this happens more frequently with age simply because our vocabulary and life experiences are so large. Your brain has an enormous library of information to sort through. Misplacing items is another normal part of aging. Forgetting where you put your keys, leaving your phone in another room, or wondering where your glasses are. It happens. The important distinction is that with normal aging, you usually remember later or can retrace your steps and figure it out. You're aware of the lapse and it doesn't disrupt your daily functioning in a major way. Now, let's talk about what's not normal. These are the red flags you really need to watch for, and I encourage you to take them seriously. If memory loss begins to interfere with your daily life, that's a warning sign. For example, forgetting how to get home from a familiar store, struggling to follow the steps of a recipe you've cooked for years, or asking the same question repeatedly because you don't remember the answer just moments later, these are not typical age-related changes. One major red flag is disorientation. If someone forgets where they are, gets lost in familiar surroundings, or struggles to remember the time or even the year, that's not normal aging. Another warning sign is personality changes. If a usually calm, friendly person becomes easily irritable, suspicious, or withdrawn, memory issues could be part of something bigger. Language difficulties are another signal. Forgetting a word occasionally is normal, but consistently having trouble forming sentences, following conversations, or mixing up common words is a red flag. For example, calling a watch a hand clock or referring to a refrigerator as the food box. That level of confusion is cause for concern. It's also not normal if someone stops recognizing close family members or forgets important life events, such as the birth of a child or the passing of a loved one. That goes far beyond typical forgetfulness.
So what exactly is happening in the brain that causes these differences? Well, with normal aging, your brain cells shrink slightly, and communication between neurons may slow. Think of it as a network with a lot of traffic. Everything still moves, just not as fast. But in conditions like Alzheimer's or other dementias, actual damage is happening. Plaques and tangles build up in the brain, cutting off communication between cells and eventually leading to cell death. That's why these conditions cause significant progressive memory loss and other cognitive issues. Here's a comforting fact, though. Not all memory problems are dementia. In fact, many memory issues can be caused by factors like stress, lack of sleep, certain medications, vitamin deficiencies, or even dehydration. For example, low vitamin B12 levels can cause memory problems, confusion, and fatigue. Fixing the deficiency often improves brain function dramatically. That's why it's so important to see a doctor if you notice concerning changes, because sometimes the solution is simpler than you think. Now let's look at what you can do to support your memory and brain health as you age. The good news is there's a lot within your control. First, exercise. Yes, physical activity doesn't just benefit your heart and muscles, it boosts your brain too. When you move your body, blood flow to the brain increases, delivering oxygen and nutrients. Studies have shown that seniors who walk regularly or engage in activities like yoga or swimming have better memory and cognitive performance compared to those who are sedentary. Next, nutrition plays a huge role. Your brain thrives on certain nutrients. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fish like salmon, walnuts, and flaxseed, help protect brain cells. Antioxidants, found in berries, leafy greens, and nuts, fight inflammation and support healthy brain function. Even something as simple as staying hydrated can prevent confusion and memory lapses. Did you know that being just slightly dehydrated can affect attention and memory? So, keep that water bottle close by. Sleep is another critical piece. During sleep, especially deep sleep, your brain consolidates memories. It takes the day's experiences and files them away, almost like a librarian organizing books. Without enough quality sleep, your brain struggles to store new information. That's why a good night's rest is essential, especially after 60. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of restful sleep each night. Mental stimulation is another powerful tool. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it stays. Reading, learning a new language, playing a musical instrument, or even doing puzzles can all help build what scientists call cognitive reserve. This is your brain's ability to adapt and find new pathways when old ones are damaged. Think of it like having backup routes on a map. The more you challenge your brain, the more routes it develops. Social interaction also makes a difference. Loneliness and isolation can speed up memory decline, while staying socially connected helps keep your mind sharp. Talking with friends, joining clubs, volunteering, or simply chatting with family members can provide the mental and emotional stimulation your brain needs. Human connection is a powerful medicine. Stress management is equally important. Chronic stress floods the brain with cortisol, a hormone that, in high levels, can damage memory and learning areas of the brain. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, Tai Chi, or spending time in nature can help lower stress and protect your brain.
Let me share a quick story. There's a 72-year-old woman named Mary who started worrying about her memory. She often misplaced her P's, sometimes forgot names, and occasionally lost track of conversations. She feared dementia. But after seeing her doctor, she learned her memory issues were largely due to poor sleep and vitamin D deficiency. Once she improved her sleep habits and started supplements, her memory improved noticeably. This shows how not every memory concern means Alzheimer's. It's often a combination of lifestyle factors we can address. So let's recap. What's normal?
forgetting names occasionally, misplacing items but remembering them later, or sometimes struggling with word recall. What's not normal? Getting lost in familiar places, repeating questions over and over, forgetting close family members, or experiencing major personality changes. The line between normal and not normal is whether it disrupts daily life and independence. Here's the bottom line. Memory loss after 60 is not something to ignore, but it's also not something to fear immediately. Some changes are a natural part of aging, while others can signal something more serious. The best step you can take is to stay proactive. Eat well, move your body, get good sleep, keep your brain challenged, stay socially connected, and always talk to your doctor if you notice concerning changes. Early detection makes a huge difference. So, what about you? Have you noticed changes in your memory, or maybe you've seen them in a parent, spouse, or friend? Share your experience in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. And while you're at it, let me know what topics you'd like me to cover in future videos. Your feedback helps shape the content we create together. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on valuable tips for living a longer, healthier life. Thank you for watching, and remember, your brain is one of your greatest assets. Take care of it, and it will take care of you.